Imagine standing in the middle of your home, surrounded by stacks of clothes you haven't worn in years, shelves cluttered with trinkets you barely notice, and a calendar so packed it feels like you're sprinting through life with no chance to catch your breath. Your mind mirrors this chaos, a whirlwind of racing thoughts, nagging worries, and a quiet, persistent ache for something simpler, clearer, more meaningful. You're not alone in this. In a world that glorifies excess, more possessions, more commitments, more noise, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, suffocated by the weight of things and pressures that promise happiness but deliver stress instead. What if the path to peace isn't about acquiring more, but about letting go? What if decluttering your home could cleanse your mind, creating space for clarity, purpose, and a deep, abiding sense of joy? This is the essence of the Japanese minimalist approach, a philosophy rooted in simplicity, intentionality, and the art of living with less to experience so much more. Today, I invite you to embark on this transformative journey, to discover how clearing your physical space can unlock mental freedom and guide you toward a life that feels lighter, richer, and authentically yours. At the heart of this approach lies Dansshari, a Japanese philosophy that offers a roadmap to freedom from excess. Dansshari is a fusion of three powerful ideas: Dan, to refuse; Sha, to discard; and Rai, to separate. Together, they form a practice of refusing unnecessary things, discarding what no longer serves you, and separating yourself from emotional attachments to material possessions. Unlike Western minimalism, which often emphasizes aesthetics, think sleek, sparse rooms, or a specific number of belongings, Dansshari is deeply personal and spiritual. It's not about creating a magazine-worthy home. It's about freeing your spirit from the weight of clutter to cultivate harmony within yourself and your surroundings. Rooted in Japanese culture, Dansshari reflects a reverence for simplicity and mindfulness, drawing from Zen principles that value presence over accumulation. It's a gentle yet powerful rebellion against the consumerist culture that insists happiness lies in the next purchase, the bigger house, or the trendiest wardrobe. Dansshari invites you to pause and ask, what do I truly need? What aligns with who I am today and who I aspire to become? By answering these questions, you begin a journey toward a life that's not just tidier, but profoundly intentional, where every object, choice, and moment reflects your deepest values. Why does this matter? Why does a cluttered closet, a crowded kitchen counter, or a desk buried in papers affect your mind? The connection between your physical environment and mental state is profound and undeniable. Your home is more than a place to store things. It's a reflection of your inner world, a space filled with excess, clothes you keep just in case, gadgets you rarely touch, or papers you've forgotten why you saved. Sends a subtle but constant message of chaos and indecision. It's a visual reminder of unfinished tasks, unmade choices, and lingering guilt. Psychological research backs this up. Clutter increases cortisol levels, reduces focus, and stifles creativity. Your brain, wired to seek order, expends precious energy navigating the mess, leaving you feeling drained, anxious, or scattered without fully understanding why. Conversely, a clear, intentional space promotes calm, sharpens your thinking, and opens the door to possibility. When you declutter your home, you're not just organizing objects. You're crafting a sanctuary for your mind, a place where you can breathe deeply, reflect clearly, and reconnect with what truly matters. Let's contrast this with the habits many of us fall into, often without realizing it. Modern life is a relentless push toward accumulation. Advertisements bombard you with messages that you need more. More clothes to stay fashionable, more tech to stay connected, more decor to signal success. Social media amplifies this pressure, showcasing curated lives that make you question whether you're enough, whether your home or lifestyle measures up. You might buy things to fill a void, to chase a fleeting sense of control or status, only to find that void growing larger. The average American home contains over 300,000 items, yet studies consistently show that more possessions often correlate with less life satisfaction. You might hold on to things out of fear of needing them later, fear of wasting money, or fear of losing memories tied to objects. But this holding on comes at a steep cost. Your space becomes a storage unit for regrets, and your mind carries the burden of indecision, guilt, and overwhelm. Dansshari offers a different path, one of courage, clarity, and liberation, where you choose freedom over fear and meaning over excess. So, how exactly does decluttering your home lead to mental clarity? The benefits are both immediate and far-reaching, touching every facet of your life: mind, body, soul, relationships, finances, and even your connection to the world around you. First, there's the tangible relief of a simpler space. When you remove excess, your home becomes easier to navigate, clean, and enjoy. You spend less time searching for lost keys, tidying endless piles, or rearranging clutter, freeing up hours for what truly enriches you: time with loved ones, creative pursuits, or simply resting in peace. This efficiency reduces stress and creates a sense of control, a quiet confidence that your environment supports you rather than hinders you. But the deeper impact is emotional and spiritual. Letting go of possessions teaches you to release mental baggage, guilt over past purchases, anxiety about the future, or attachment to an identity tied to material things. Each item you discard is a small act of trust in yourself, a declaration that you don't need excess to feel whole or worthy. This builds resilience, sharpens your decision-making, and aligns your life with your true priorities, creating a sense of inner peace that radiates outward. Consider the story of Sarah, a busy professional who felt trapped in her own home. Her closets overflowed with clothes she hadn't worn since college. Her desk was buried under papers, and her mind was a tangle of stress, self-doubt, and exhaustion. Inspired by Dansshari, she began decluttering, starting with a single drawer. As she sorted through old letters, trinkets, and forgotten keepsakes, she confronted memories and emotions she'd long avoided, regrets about past choices, fears about letting go. Letting go was challenging at first, but with each item she released, she felt lighter, as if she were shedding layers of weight she hadn't realized she was carrying. She donated clothes that no longer fit her style or body, recycled papers she'd never need, and kept only what sparked joy or served a clear purpose. Within weeks, her home felt airy, inviting, and truly hers. More surprisingly, her mind felt clearer. She slept better, made decisions with greater ease, and found herself dreaming about new possibilities: a career shift, a weekend hiking trip, a return to painting, things she hadn't dared consider before. Sarah's story illustrates how physical decluttering can ripple inward, creating space for growth, peace, and a renewed sense of purpose. Dansshari doesn't stand alone. It's enriched by other Japanese philosophies that deepen its impact. Take mottainai, for example, a concept that expresses regret for waste and a deep respect for resources. When you declutter mindfully, you're not just tossing things into a landfill. You're honoring each item's role in your life. You might donate clothes to someone who needs them, recycle old electronics responsibly, or repurpose furniture creatively. This practice fosters gratitude, shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance. You begin to see that you already have enough, that true wealth lies in quality over quantity. Another complementary idea is wabi-sabi, the art of finding beauty in imperfection and impermanence. As you simplify your space, you might choose to keep a chipped mug because it reminds you of cozy mornings with a loved one, or a worn book whose dog-eared pages hold your history. Wabi-sabi teaches you that authenticity, not perfection, is what makes a home or a life beautiful. It eases the pressure to create a flawless space, inviting you to embrace the quirks and stories that make your world unique. Together, these philosophies transform decluttering into a practice of mindfulness, gratitude, and intentional living. Now, let's dive into the practical steps to apply Dansshari and declutter your home, creating that mental clarity you're craving. The process is simple but requires commitment and self-compassion. Start small to avoid overwhelm. Choose one specific area, like a drawer, a shelf, a closet, or even a corner of a room. Set aside a few hours and approach the task with curiosity rather than judgment. For each item, ask yourself 3 key questions. Do I use this regularly? Does it bring me joy? Does it align with my current values and goals? If the answer is no to all 3, it's time to let it go. Be honest but gentle with yourself. If you're hesitant about certain items, create a maybe box and store it out of sight for a month. Chances are you won't miss those things, and letting go will feel easier when you revisit them. As you sort, categorize items into 4 groups: keep, donate, recycle, or discard. For the items you keep, find a purposeful place for them, ensuring your space feels functional, serene, and reflective of your needs. To make this a truly mindful practice, incorporate a reflection exercise before you begin. Sit quietly in the space you're about to declutter and write down how it makes you feel: stressed, stuck, ashamed, or overwhelmed. Then, close your eyes and imagine how a clearer, simpler space could change those feelings. Picture yourself moving through your home with ease, feeling calm and in control. This visualization fuels motivation and clarifies your why. As you declutter, pay attention to the emotions that surface. You might feel guilt over expensive items you never used, sadness over objects tied to past dreams, or even resistance to change. Acknowledge these feelings without judgment, perhaps by journaling about them or speaking them aloud to a trusted friend. This emotional decluttering is just as vital as the physical act, as it helps you release mental clutter, old regrets, fears, or limiting beliefs that's been weighing you down. To sustain your progress, adopt habits that prevent clutter from creeping back. One powerful strategy is the one in, one out rule. For every new item you bring into your home, let go of another. This curbs impulse purchases and keeps your space intentional. Another habit is to practice conscious consumption, pausing before buying to ask, "Do I need this? Will it add value to my life?" Over time, you'll find yourself gravitating toward quality over quantity, choosing items that last and align with your values. To deepen the mental benefits, pair decluttering with mindfulness practices. After clearing a space, sit in it and take 10 slow, deep breaths, noticing how the openness feels. Meditate or journal about what you've released and what you're making room for. More time, more creativity, more peace. These moments anchor the connection between your home and your mind, reinforcing the clarity you're cultivating. Challenges are inevitable, but they're not insurmountable. Decision fatigue is a common hurdle, especially when sorting through sentimental items or large volumes of stuff. If you feel overwhelmed, take a break and return with fresh eyes, or limit your session to 15 to 30 minutes. Small, consistent steps build momentum. Sentimental items like old letters, childhood toys, or gifts from loved ones can be particularly hard to release. Instead of keeping everything, choose 1 or 2 representative pieces that capture the memory, like a single photo from a stack or a favorite book from a collection. You can also take digital photos of items before letting them go, preserving the memory without the physical clutter. If you live with others who aren't on board with decluttering, focus on your personal spaces, like your desk, wardrobe, or side of the bedroom, and lead by example. A calmer, happier, you can inspire those around you to rethink their own habits. Time constraints are another challenge, especially if you're juggling work, family, or other responsibilities. If you're short on time, dedicate just 15 minutes a day to decluttering. A drawer here, a shelf there. Over weeks, these micro efforts add up to transformative change. To integrate Dansshari into your life long-term, consider adopting Kaizen, the Japanese philosophy of continuous improvement. Kaizen encourages small, incremental changes that compound over time. Every few months, walk through your home with fresh eyes and ask, "Is this space still serving me? Are there items I no longer need?" This ongoing practice keeps your environment and mind aligned with your evolving goals and prevents clutter from accumulating again. You can also apply Kaizen to your mental decluttering, regularly reflecting on habits, thoughts, or commitments that no longer serve you. For example, you might let go of a draining obligation, limit time on social media, or simplify your daily schedule to create more room for rest and joy. Let's explore a few more stories to see how this practice transforms lives across different circumstances. Imagine Mark, a single dad overwhelmed by toys, bills, and work stress. His home was a maze of clutter, piles of laundry, scattered toys, and stacks of unopened mail that left him feeling chaotic and inadequate. Using Dansshari, he started with his living room, involving his kids in the process to make it fun. They sorted toys together, donating ones they'd outgrown, and keeping only their favorites. They created a cozy, clutter-free space for family movie nights, complete with blankets and a small basket of cherished games. Mark noticed his kids argued less and played more creatively, while he felt calmer and more present. Inspired, he began tackling his mental clutter, unrealistic expectations, lingering guilt over past mistakes. Through nightly journaling, his home became a haven, and his mind found focus, allowing him to reconnect with his kids and himself. Or consider Priya, a college student drowning in fast fashion and social media pressure. Her tiny dorm room was stuffed with clothes she'd bought on impulse, many still with tags, and her mind was clouded by comparison and self-doubt. Dansshari helped her rethink her wardrobe. She sorted through every item, keeping only pieces that fit well, felt good, and reflected her personal style. She donated the rest to a local shelter, feeling a surge of gratitude for what she had. With a streamlined closet, she saved money, felt more confident, and redirected her energy toward her studies and passions, like writing poetry. Priya's story shows how decluttering can empower you to break free from consumerist traps and reclaim your sense of self. Another example is James, a retiree who felt lost after leaving his career. His home was filled with relics of his past, awards, work files, and furniture from a life that no longer fit. Dansshari helped him let go of items tied to his old identity, making space for new hobbies like gardening and volunteering. As he cleared his home, he also released regrets about missed opportunities, finding peace in the present. His home became a reflection of his current joys, and his mind felt open to new adventures. These stories highlight that Dansshari is universal, adaptable to any age, lifestyle, or circumstance, and its effects ripple far beyond a tidy space. As you embrace this approach, you'll notice its impact on every area of your life. A decluttered home fosters conscious consumption, encouraging you to think twice before buying and to seek items that are durable, meaningful, and aligned with your values. This saves money and reduces your environmental footprint, echoing Motainai's call to waste less and respect resources. Relationships improve as well. A clear, inviting space sets the stage for connection. Shared meals, heartfelt conversations, or quiet evenings with loved ones, without the distraction of mess. Your mental clarity spills into work, where you focus better, solve problems more creatively, and feel less overwhelmed. Financially, you'll feel lighter as you spend less on unnecessary purchases and prioritize experiences over things. Spiritually, you'll feel grounded, connected to what's essential, and grateful for the abundance already in your life. What might your life look like if you fully embrace this philosophy? Picture waking up in a home where every item has a place and a purpose, where the air feels light and the space feels like an extension of you. You move through your day with calm and intention, unburdened by excess. Your mind is clear, ready to tackle challenges or savor quiet moments with equal ease. You make choices about your time, your money, your relationships that reflect your deepest values. You're not chasing perfection, but you're free to embrace imperfection, to live authentically, to find beauty in the simple and the real. This is the promise of Dansshari, of the Japanese minimalist approach. It's not about owning less for the sake of less, but about creating space for more peace, more purpose, more connection, more you. So, where will you begin? Maybe with that one drawer that's been nagging at you, or perhaps with a quiet moment to reflect on what you're ready to release. Start small, but start. Each step is a gift to yourself, a chance to cleanse your home and your mind. You don't need to do it all at once, but you do need to choose yourself, your well-being, your freedom, your joy. The clutter, both physical and mental, doesn't define you. You are capable of letting go, of crafting a life that feels like home in every sense of the word. Take a deep breath, trust in your strength, and let's create that space together, one intentional choice at a time. The journey to clarity and peace begins with you. And it begins now. It begins now. It begins now. It begins